Everybody thought we were going to fold. You know, Vanity Fair had launched in 1983 as a kind of comeback magazine from the 20s in Condé Nast, and they did it with a huge amount of razzle dazzle and hype and said it was going to be the best magazine ever. But the first editor they put in, Richard Locke, did not succeed, and so he got fired after a couple of months, and then they put in another editor who was upstairs at Vogue and who was much, much older and who really, you know, was a kind of throwback character. And he got fired, and that's when I, you know, was appointed editor. So I'd actually came in sort of classic glass cliff situation, right? When a woman comes into the big mess that she's inherited. I came into this huge kind of mess in which everybody was saying at that point that Vanity Fair was going to fail. It was like it was the messed up comeback, and everyone was making fun of it. Mm-hmm. So I had to then labor to kind of get over that negative spin that was out there. And also, frankly, you know, get the advertising back, because once advertisers have come in and left, that's really, really hard, because they don't want to come back. You know, they always say, oh, we'll wait and see. The killer phrase that, you know, you dread, I'll wait and see, because meantime, you could go out of business. So with the first year and a half, we really were trying to battle closure, in a sense. And very nearly did close until the Reagan cover came out. I was also a mother of 2 children as the time went by. And so a lot of what I was trying to think was, how do I get to continue to do what I'm doing and also be a decent mother to my children, you know, which is always the big question. I thought he was an amusing character. I thought he was a brash, funny, you know, New York figure.
New York guy.
Classic New York guy with the sort of Elvis-y hair and the kind of model wife and the whole thing. And then he got more and more sour, really, as the years went by. He did change, I have to say, because the brash, funny guy that I met in the early days, in the mid-80s, by the time the 90s had come around, and you know, then he was in financial difficulties, then he got into his divorce, and I think all of that stress, perhaps, changed him radically, because he then became really ballistic and difficult and belligerent every time we ever published anything remotely critical. He was always, you know, hollering that we got everything wrong.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. But Marie Brenner did this stunning piece, and she had a great quote from his brother in it, where he said, Donald was the kid who threw cake at the birthday party.